hoy quiero hablarles
And today I want to talk to you
de una jornada que encontramos
about a journey that we find
después de la resurrección de Jesús.
after Jesus' resurrection.
De un viaje que hace con dos personas
A trip that he takes with two people
que estaban completamente desanimadas.
that were completely discouraged.
Porque la vida te dejará desanimado.
Because life will leave you discouraged.
Planeas algo,
You plan something,
pero el resultado no es lo que planeas.
but the result isn't what you planned.
No sé si alguna vez has visto videos
I don't know if you've ever watched videos
de proyectos creativos
for creative projects
que puedes hacer en casa
that you can do at home,
o de cosas que puedes cocinar fácilmente.
or things that you can easily cook or bake.
Encontramos algunas fotos
We found some pictures
de algunas personas que intentaron hacerlo,
of some people that tried to do this,
pero su realidad
but the reality
no coincidía
didn't match
con la imagen que tenían en mente.
with the image, the picture that they had in
Y aquí está
mind.
la primera
And
imagen.
here's the first image.
Esta era la expectativa,
This was the expectation,
pero mire la realidad.
but look at the reality.
¿Cómo salió?
Look at how it came out.
Más o menos, pero está sufriendo el niño, pero más o menos.
It's a little close. The kid looks like he's suffering, but it's a little close.
La segunda imagen,
The second image,
esa era la expectativa.
this was the expectation,
Mire la realidad.
and look at the reality.
Eso está quemando todo.
This is burning up.
La próxima imagen,
The next one,
esos son pasteles.
these are cakes,
El del trenecito.
this little train.
Aquella era la expectativa.
That was the expectation,
Mire la realidad.
and look at the
Ni
reality.
siquiera se parece.
It looks nothing like it.
El siguiente,
The next one,
esa era la expectativa.
here's the expectation,
Mire la realidad.
and look at the reality.
Eso sí salió feo.
This is ugly.
Pero la favorita mía es esta.
But my favorite one is this one.
Mire la expectativa.
Here's the
Muy
expectation,
conocido eso. Mire la realidad.
and look at the reality.
Eso no se parece
This looks
nada.
nothing like it.
Bueno, quiero decirles
Well, I want to tell you
que algunos de ustedes llegaron a la iglesia sintiéndose así.
that some of you came into church today feeling this way.
Esperabas una cosa
You were hoping for
y
something,
sucedió otra.
and something else happened.
La vida no siempre es como la primera imagen.
Life isn't always like the first image.
La vida se parece más a la segunda imagen.
Life is more like the second
Y
image.
si eres honesto,
And if you're being honest,
tú puedes decir que la imagen que tienes de tu vida ahora mismo
you can say that the image of life that you have right now
no es la que planeaste.
is not what you planned.
Es exactamente lo que está pasando con estas dos personas.
And this is exactly what's happening with these two
Y
people.
sucedió en un día como hoy.
And it happened on a day like today.
Quiero que te imagines el escenario conmigo.
I want you to picture the scene with me.
Es domingo de resurrección.
It's Resurrection Sunday.
Jesús se ha levantado de la tumba.
Jesus has risen from the grave.
Es el día más importante para la historia del mundo.
It's the most important day in the history of the world.
Pero ¿dónde está Jesús?
But where is Jesus?
Lucas nos cuenta
Luke tells us
lo que él estaba haciendo.
what he was doing.
Pero te aseguro
But I can assure you
que no es lo que tú ni yo
that it's not what neither you nor I
hubiéramos hecho
would have done
en el primer día de regreso.
on our first day back.
Mire lo que dice la historia.
Look at what the story says.
Aquel mismo día, dos de ellos se dirigían a un pueblo llamado Emaús, a unos 11 kilómetros de Jerusalén.
Now that same day, two of them were going to a village called Emmaus, about 7 miles from Jerusalem.
En el domingo de resurrección,
On Resurrection Sunday,
¿dónde está Jesús?
where is Jesus?
Y lo encontramos con dos personas
We find him with two people
que ni siquiera tienen nombre.
that don't even have a name.
El nombre de uno de ellos va a ser mencionado más adelante en la historia,
The name of one of these two people will be mentioned later on in this story,
pero el del otro nunca es mencionado.
but the other never, their name is never mentioned.
Nunca escuchamos de estos dos antes de este momento
We never hear about these two before this moment,
y nunca volveremos a escuchar de ellos después de este momento.
and we will never hear about them again after this moment.
Entonces, en el día más importante,
So on the most important day,
cuando Jesús resucita de entre los muertos,
when Jesus resurrects from the dead,
pasa todo el día con dos personas
he spends the entire day with two people
de las cuales nunca has oído hablar
that you've never heard of,
y no volverás a hablar, no volverás a oír sobre ellas.
and you will never hear about them again.
Dos personas que se dirigen a Emaús
two people that are headed towards Emmaus,
un lugar que las escrituras nunca mencionan.
a place that Scripture never mentions.
De hecho, los eruditos y arqueólogos
In fact, scholars and archaeologists,
hasta el día de hoy discuten dónde este lugar estaba ubicado,
up until today, they debate where this place is located
porque era tan insignificante.
because it was so insignificant.
No tienen idea de que Jesús está vivo.
They have no idea that Jesus is alive.
Y Jesús en el día de su resurrección
And Jesus, on the day of his resurrection,
está con dos donadies
is with two nobodies
yendo a un lugar que nadie conoce.
going to a place that no one knows.
Se dirigen a 7 millas de Jerusalén,
They are headed 7 miles away from Jerusalem,
la ciudad donde Jesús había sido crucificado,
the city where Jesus had been crucified,
el lugar donde Dios iba a comenzar un movimiento.
the place where God was going to start a movement.
Pero estas dos personas no están allí,
But these two people aren't there.
se están alejando de Jerusalén,
They're headed away from Jerusalem,
yéndose del lugar donde Dios iba a obrar.
leaving the place where God was going to work.
Y en el día en que Jesús regresa de los muertos,
And on the day that Jesus comes back from the dead,
no está en Jerusalén.
he's not in Jerusalem.
Él está con dos personas
He's with two people
que se dirigían a una ciudad desconocida
that were headed to an unknown city
y en la dirección opuesta.
and in the opposite direction.
Creo que Jesús está tratando de mostrarnos algo aquí.
I believe that Jesus is trying to show us something here.
Número uno,
Number one,
Él está presente en mis desvíos.
he is present in my detours.
Él está presente en mis lugares inesperados.
He is present in those unexpected places,
En los lugares en los cuales tú no querías estar.
in the places that you didn't want to be.
Cuando la vida te lleva por un camino
When life takes you down one path
el cual tú no querías tomar.
that you didn't want to take.
Cuando te alejas de un sueño.
When you walk away from a dream.
Cuando te alejas de la fe.
When you walk away from faith.
Ellos se están alejando de la ciudad,
They are walking away from the city,
del lugar donde Dios se estaba moviendo.
the place where God was moving.
Están confundidos, están muy desanimados.
They're confused, they're very discouraged.
Jesús estaba vivo,
Jesus was alive,
pero ahora está muerto.
but now he is dead,
No lo pueden creer,
and they can't believe this.
pero no tienen idea siquiera
But they have no idea
de lo que está a punto de suceder.
about what's about to
Y me
happen.
encanta lo que Jesús hace a continuación.
And I love what Jesus does next.
Él camina con ellos en la dirección equivocada.
He walks with them in the wrong
¿Qué
direction.
tal si te dijera
What if I were to tell you
que Dios está tan presente en tu historia?
that God is so present in your story?
Dios caminará contigo,
God will walk with you,
incluso cuando vas en la dirección equivocada.
even when you're going in the wrong direction.
Ese es el tipo de gracia y amor que Dios tiene para ti.
That is the type of grace and love that God has for you.
Aunque tú no creas en Dios,
Even if you don't believe in God,
Dios todavía cree en ti.
God still believes in you.
Dios caminará contigo en tus desvíos.
God will walk with you in your detours.
Cuando no vas a ninguna parte,
When you're headed nowhere,
Dios tomará el camino contigo.
God will walk with you.
Porque Jesús no solo aparece cuando voy en la dirección correcta.
Because Jesus doesn't just appear when I'm headed in the right direction.
Él aparecerá incluso cuando me dirijo a un camino que no va a ningún lado.
He will appear even when I'm headed nowhere.
En los desvíos de la vida,
In the detours of life,
en los callejones sin salida de la vida,
in the dead ends of life,
cuando la vida no salió como lo esperabas,
when life didn't turn out the way you wanted,
cuando tomé una derecha
when I made a right
y debí haber tomado una izquierda,
and I should have made a left,
cuando me siento perdido en la jornada
when I feel lost in the
y
journey
estoy en un callejón sin salida en mi alma.
and I'm in a dead end in my soul.
Me pregunto si alguna vez tú te has sentido así.
I ask myself whether you've ever felt this
Este
way.
no es el lugar donde se suponía que yo debería de estar.
This isn't the place where I should be.
Pensaba que iba a estar más lejos,
I thought that by now I'd be farther,
pero ahora estoy en un desvío.
but now I'm in a detour.
Y es ahí donde te sientes desanimado
And that's where you feel discouraged
y muy confundido.
and very confused.
Pero mira la historia, lo que sigue diciendo.
But look at what the story continues to say.
Iban conversando sobre todo lo que había acontecido.
They were talking with each other about everything that had happened.
Sucedió que mientras hablaban y discutían,
As they walked and discussed these things with each other,
Jesús mismo se acercó y comenzó a caminar con ellos, pero no lo reconocieron.
Jesus himself came up and walked along with them, but they were kept from recognizing him.
Jesús está al frente de ellos,
Jesus is there in front of them,
pero no lo reconocieron.
but they didn't recognize him.
Pero ¿cómo podrían reconocerlo
But how could they recognize him
si se suponía que Jesús estaba muerto?
if Jesus was supposed to be dead?
Me pregunto cuántas veces
I ask myself, how many times
tú y yo hemos estado en la presencia de Dios.
have you and I been in the presence of God?
Jesús está caminando con nosotros,
And Jesus is walking with us.
está obrando en nuestras vidas
He's working in our
y ni
lives,
siquiera tenemos idea.
and we have no idea.
Me pregunto,
I ask myself,
¿qué es lo que nos impide poder verlo?
what keeps us from seeing
Me
him?
pregunto cuántas veces Dios está haciendo algo,
I ask myself, how many times God is doing
pero
something,
estábamos tan convencidos
but we were so convinced
que Dios ni siquiera estaba allí,
that God wasn't even there,
que Él ni siquiera lo sabía,
that he didn't even know about
que Él
it,
estaba 1,000,000 de millas de distancia
that he was a million miles away
donde nosotros nos encontrábamos.
from where we found ourselves.
Y estas dos personas
And these two people
van conversando, platicando
are walking and talking
de lo que acaba de suceder.
about what had just
Y
happened.
Jesús los ve caminar en la dirección opuesta y piensa,
And Jesus sees them walking in the opposite direction, and he thinks,
si es allí donde vas,
if that's where you're going,
allí es donde iré yo también contigo.
then that's where I'm also going with you.
Ni siquiera fue invitado,
He wasn't even invited.
Él solo se invitó.
He invited himself.
Estas dos personas han perdido la esperanza,
These two people have lost all hope.
han perdido la fe.
They've lost faith.
Ellos esperaban que Jesús era el Salvador,
They hoped that Jesus was the Savior,
que iba a establecer su nuevo reino
that he would establish a new kingdom,
y que derrotaría al imperio romano.
and that he would defeat the Roman
Pero
Empire.
no sucedió como pensaban.
But it didn't work out the way they
Ahora ya no hay
expected.
esperanza para ellos.
Now there is no hope for them.
Y la imagen que tenían en su mente
And the picture, the image they had in mind,
no coincidía con la de su vida en ese momento.
didn't match that of their lives in that
Pero mire
moment.
lo que Jesús les dice.
But look at what Jesus says to them.
¿Qué vienen discutiendo por el camino? Les preguntó. Se detuvieron cabizbajos.
He asked them, "What are you discussing together as you walk along?" They stood still, their faces downcast.
¿Puedes imaginar cómo esos hombres van caminando?
Can you imagine these men walking,
Están heridos,
and they're hurt,
están derrotados,
they're defeated,
están cabizbajos.
they're downcast.
Pero ¿sabes lo que hace Jesús?
But do you know what Jesus does?
Él se detiene con ellos.
He stops with them.
Increíble.
It's
El
incredible.
primer día de regreso de entre los muertos.
The first day back from the dead,
No solo camina con la gente en la dirección equivocada,
not only does he walk with people in the wrong direction,
sino que también
but he also
Él se detiene con ellos en su depresión.
he stops with them in their depression.
Tienen el corazón roto.
They have a broken heart.
Se ha perdido la esperanza.
They've lost hope.
No sé si alguna vez te has sentido así,
I don't know if you've ever felt this way.
que estás tan herido,
You're so hurt
que sientes que ni siquiera puedes moverte.
that you feel like you can't even
Lo
move.
estás conteniendo por dentro.
You're holding it all
Y
in.
tan pronto alguien te pregunta,
And as soon as someone asks you,
¿estás bien?
"Are you okay?"
Las lágrimas comienzan a fluir.
Tears start to roll
Estas
down.
dos personas ni siquiera podían hablar.
These two people couldn't even talk.
Están totalmente cabizbajos.
They're completely downcast.
Yo no sé cómo te has sentido alguna vez,
And I don't know how you've felt,
pero ese es Jesús.
but this is Jesus.
Yo no sé tú, pero si yo resucitara de los muertos,
I don't know about you, but if I had risen from the dead,
yo buscaría hacer una fiesta,
I'd look to party.
buscaría hacer una celebración.
I'd look to celebrate.
Pero Jesús,
But Jesus,
en su primer día de resucitado,
on his first day back from the dead,
está con las dos personas más tristes de Israel.
he is with the two saddest people in Israel.
¿Y saben lo que hace?
And do you know what he does?
Él se sienta con ellos.
He sits with them.
Si tienes dolor
If you have
y
pain
haces una pausa,
and you pause,
Él se detiene contigo.
he stops with you.
Se sentará contigo.
He will sit with you.
Pero Jesús,
But Jesus,
¿no tienes algo más importante que hacer?
don't you have something more important to do?
No,
No.
estoy exactamente
I am exactly
donde necesito estar,
where I need to be,
con las personas que tienen el corazón roto,
with people who are brokenhearted,
con las personas que han perdido la esperanza.
with people who have lost hope.
sigue diciendo la historia.
And the story continues to say,
Y uno de ellos llamado Cleofas.
and one of them named Cleopas.
Finalmente nos dan el nombre de uno.
They finally give us the name of one of them,
Pero del otro nunca lo mencionan su nombre.
but they never mention the other's name.
Y algunos eruditos creen
And some scholars believe
que era la esposa de Cleofas, pero no lo sabemos.
that it was Cleopas' wife.
Y le dijo,
And he said,
¿eres tú el único peregrino en Jerusalén
he asked him, are you the only one visiting Jerusalem
que no se ha enterado de todo lo que ha pasado recientemente?
who does not know the things that have happened there in these days?
Y están a punto de contarle a Jesús
And they're about to tell Jesus
acerca de Jesús.
about Jesus.
¿No es cómico? ¿No es divertido?
Isn't it funny?
¿Cuántas veces le has contado la situación de tu vida a Dios?
How many times have you told God your life situation
Como si Él no supiera.
as if he didn't know?
¿Cuántas veces hemos orado
How many times have we
y
prayed
le hemos dicho toda nuestra vida a Dios?
and told God all about our lives
Como si Él no supiera.
as if he didn't know?
¿Y por qué Él no nos ayuda en la situación?
And because he can't help us in this
Pero
situation.
me encanta lo que hace Jesús.
But I love what Jesus
Él
does.
dice, ¿qué pasó?
He says, what happened?
Cuéntame al respecto.
Tell me about it.
Como si Él no supiera.
As if he didn't know.
Y estos dos comienzan a decirle,
And these two began to tell him,
Jesús de Nazaret
Jesus of
era un
Nazareth.
hombre poderoso,
He was a powerful
era un
man.
hombre increíble,
He was an incredible man.
pero lo crucificaron.
But they crucified
Y Jesús
him.
está como, ay Dios mío, de veras,
And Jesus is there saying, really?
lo mataron.
They killed him?
Cuénteme más.
Tell me more.
Y mire lo que sigue diciendo.
And look at what he continues to say.
Pero nosotros abrigábamos la esperanza de que era Él quien redimiría a Israel.
But we had hoped that he was the one who was going to redeem Israel.
Es más, ya hace 3 días que sucedió todo esto.
And what is more, it is the third day since all this took place.
No solamente está presente en nuestros desvíos,
Not only is he present in our detours,
sino que también, número 2,
but also, number 2,
está presente en mi decepción.
he is present in my disappointment.
Teníamos esperanza,
We had hope,
pero no sucedió.
but it didn't happen.
Pensé que la vida iba a ser diferente.
I thought that life was going to be different.
Pensé que el matrimonio iba a ser diferente.
I thought marriage was going to be different.
Pensé que la paternidad iba a ser diferente.
I thought parenting was going to be different.
Pensamos que el tratamiento para la enfermedad iba a funcionar.
We thought the treatment for the sickness was going to work.
Esperábamos haber tenido hijos ya.
We had hoped to have children by now.
¿Y qué hacemos cuando la experiencia
And what do we do when the
no
experience
se alinea con las expectativas?
doesn't align with our expectations?
Yo no sé si tú en algún restaurante
I don't know if you've ever gone to a restaurant
has experimentado una decepción.
and you've experienced disappointments.
A mí me encantan los menús con foto.
I love menus with pictures.
Yo no ordeno un plato si no miro la foto.
I will not order a meal unless I see a picture.
Porque para ordenar algo que tú no ves, tú necesitas fe.
Because in order to order something that you can't see, then you need to
Quiero
have
decirte,
faith.
como pastor de esta iglesia no tengo ese tipo de fe.
And I want to tell you that as a pastor of this church, I don't have that type of faith.
Puedo leer lo que el plato lleva como ingrediente,
I can read what the meal has as ingredients,
pero yo quiero mirar cómo se va a ver.
but I want to see what it's going to look
Y
like.
para mí no es suficiente leer.
And for me, it's not enough to read.
Tengo que ver la imagen.
I have to see the
La
image.
foto.
I have to see the
Y cuando
picture.
miro aquel bistec bien grandote,
And when I see that thick steak,
le digo a los meseros, ¿ves? Esto es lo que quiero.
I say to the waiter, look, this is what I want.
Y aún así me he llevado decepciones,
And even then, I've had disappointments,
desconfianza.
distrust.
Porque cuando me traen la comida,
Because when they bring me the food,
aquel bistec se hizo así de chiquito.
that steak turns out this small.
Todavía me lo como,
I'll still eat it,
pero ya estoy molesto.
but I'm already upset.
Y miro a mi esposa, a mis hijos disfrutando.
And I look at my wife and my children
Y
enjoying.
Nito me dice, papi, solamente a usted no le sale la comida como usted quiere.
And Nito says to me, only you don't get the food that you want.
Y me siento molesto.
And I feel upset.
Entonces Dios habla a mi corazón
So then God speaks to my
y
heart.
me dice, esta experiencia necesita ser redimida.
And he says, this experience needs to be redeemed.
¿Y cómo la redimo?
And how do I redeem it?
Cuando llego a casa,
When I get home
me ordeno $40 de pizza
and I order $40 worth of pizza
para mí solo.
just for myself.
No le doy a nadie,
I won't give any to
ni
anyone,
siquiera a mi esposa.
not even my wife.
Todo esto para decir que la decepción
All this to say that disappointment
es la desconexión entre la imagen y el plato.
is the disconnection between the image and the plates.
Y esto es exactamente lo que le está pasando a estos dos.
And this is exactly what's happening to these two.
Pensaban una cosa,
They thought one thing,
pero recibieron otra.
but they got another.
Tenían la esperanza
They had hope
de que Jesús iba a ser el redentor de Israel.
that Jesus was going to be the redeemer of Israel.
Pero Jesús está pensando algo más.
But Jesus is thinking something
Va a
else.
ser mucho mejor.
It's going to be much
Voy
better.
a ser el redentor de la humanidad.
I will be the redeemer of humanity.
Pero estás decepcionado
But you're disappointed
porque juzgas la jornada cuando no ha terminado.
because you judge the journey when it's not over.
Y algunos de ustedes están decepcionados
And some of you are disappointed
por lo que pasó.
because of what happened.
Pero déjame decirlo de esta manera.
But let me put it this way.
No dejes que los malos días te hagan pensar que tienes una mala vida.
Don't let bad days make you think you have a bad life.
Sé que fue doloroso,
I know that it was painful,
pero ese no es tu destino.
but that's not your destination.
No juzgues la jornada antes de que termine.
Don't judge the journey before it's over.
Tu vida aún se está escribiendo.
Your life is still being written.
Hay más capítulos.
There's more chapters.
Hay más historia que Dios quiere escribir de ti.
There's more story that God wants to write about
Porque Él
you.
establece en las escrituras.
Because he establishes the scripture.
Todas las cosas ayudan para bien.
And he says all things work together for
De,
the good
de aquellos que lo aman.
of those who love him.
Lo que significa que si no es bueno,
What this means is that if it's not good,
entonces Dios todavía no ha terminado.
then God still has not finished.
Y ellos dijeron,
And they said,
teníamos la esperanza de que Él iba a salvar.
we had the hope that he was going to save.
Jesús está diciendo, la esperanza está al frente de ustedes.
And Jesus is saying, hope is here in front of
Yo
you.
no solamente voy a salvar,
I'm not only just going to save,
voy a hacer mucho más de lo que pueden pedir, pensar o imaginar.
I'm going to do so much more than what you can ask, think, or ask for.
Y luego Jesús comienza a explicarles,
And then Jesus begins to explain to
a
them,
enseñarles
to show them
cómo todas las escrituras
how all of Scripture
apuntaban hacia Jesús.
pointed towards Jesus.
Pero aún con todo y eso,
But even with all of this,
todavía no entendían.
they still could not
Y
understand.
sigue diciendo la historia.
And the story continues to say,
Al acercarse al pueblo donde se dirigían, Jesús hizo como que iba más lejos.
as they approached the village to which they were going, Jesus continued on as if he were going farther.
Está actuando como si va de paso, va de camino.
He's acting as if he's going to keep going.
Bueno, gracias por la compañía,
And he
ahora
says,
me voy.
well, thanks for the company, I'm leaving now.
Pero sigue diciendo,
But it continues to say,
pero ellos insistieron, quédate con nosotros, que está atardeciendo, ya es casi de noche.
but they urged him strongly, stay with us, for it is nearly evening, the day is almost over.
Así que entró para quedarse con ellos.
So he went in to stay with them.
A esta altura todavía no saben que es Jesús.
Up until this point, they still don't know that it's Jesus.
No han conectado todas las piezas.
They have not connected all the pieces.
Pero lo que sí saben
But what they do know
es que no quieren pasar ni un minuto más sin Él.
is that they don't want to spend another minute without him.
No sabemos quién eres,
We don't know who you are,
pero hemos caminado sin ti.
but we've walked without you.
Y ahora hemos caminado contigo.
And now we've walked with you.
Y ahora creemos
And now we believe
que no queremos continuar ni un minuto sin ti.
that we don't want to go on a minute without you.
Así que por favor quédate con nosotros.
So please stay with us.
Y el Señor dice,
And the Lord says,
está bien, me quedaré.
okay, I'll stay.
Jesús no solo está presente en mis desvíos,
Jesus is not only present in my detours,
está también en mis decepciones.
he's also in my disappointments.
número 3.
And number 3,
Él está presente porque aún no ha terminado.
he is present because he's not done.
Él no ha terminado contigo.
He is not done with you.
Aquí está la última sección.
Here is the last part.
Luego, estando con ellos a la mesa, tomó el pan, lo bendijo, lo partió y se lo dio.
When he was at the table with them, he took bread, gave thanks, broke it, and began to give it to them.
Entonces se les abrieron los ojos y lo reconocieron.
Then their eyes were opened and they recognized him.
¿Eres tú?
It's you?
¿Realmente eres tú?
Is it really you?
Porque la fe no solo es reconocer que eres tú,
Because faith is not just recognizing that it's you,
es reconocer que siempre has sido tú.
it's recognizing that it's always been you.
Espera,
Wait,
en el desvío,
in the detour,
¿tú estuviste ahí?
you were there?
en la decepción,
in the disappointment,
cuando perdimos a nuestro bebé,
when we lost our baby,
cuando nos enfermamos,
when we got sick,
cuando no salió como queríamos,
when it didn't turn out the way that we wanted,
cuando pensamos que te habías olvidado de nosotros,
when you thought you'd forgotten about us,
cuando pensábamos que no estabas allí.
when we thought that you weren't there.
¿Tú estuviste ahí?
You were there.
No puedo creerlo.
I can't believe it,
Que eras tú.
that it was you.
Todo este tiempo
This whole time,
has sido tú
it's been you
que has caminado todo el camino con nosotros.
that has walked this entire journey with us.
No lo puedo creer.
I can't believe it.
Siempre estuviste ahí.
You were always there.
Ahí es cuando te das cuenta
That is when you realize
que no has dado ni un paso en esta vida sin Él.
that you've never taken a step in this life without Him.
Cuando pensabas que Él no estaba allí,
When you thought that He wasn't there,
Él estaba allí.
He was there.
Estaba trabajando.
He was working.
Te ayudó a superarlo.
He helped you overcome it.
Aunque no sabías cómo podías verlo.
Even though you didn't know how to see Him.
Aunque no sabías que Él estaba allí.
Even though you didn't know He was
Y
there.
dijiste, ojalá Dios estuviera aquí.
And you said, I wish God were here.
Y Él está como, hijo, hija, yo estoy aquí.
And He's there saying, son, daughter, I am here.
Yo estoy aquí.
I am here.
Estoy contigo.
I am with you.
No te he dejado
I've never left
ni
you.
un solo momento.
Not even for a moment.
Quiere decir Jesús
You're trying to tell me,
que
Jesus,
tú resucitaste de entre los muertos
that you resurrected from the dead
para venir a caminar con dos personas
to come and walk with two people,
totalmente desconocidas
two completely unknown people,
en la dirección equivocada
in the wrong direction,
a un lugar totalmente desconocido
to a completely unknown place.
y dijiste,
And you said,
yo iré contigo.
I will go with you.
Sí,
Yes.
eso se trata de la resurrección.
And that is what the resurrection is about.
Es Jesús diciendo,
It's Jesus saying,
voy a volver de entre los muertos
I'm coming back from the dead
solo para caminar contigo.
just to walk with you.
Me pregunto,
I ask myself,
¿cuántas veces,
how many times,
cómo ellos fue que se dieron cuenta que era Él?
or I ask myself how it was that they realized that it was Him.
Algunas personas piensan
Some people believe
que lo reconocieron cuando Él hizo la oración,
that they recognized Him when he prayed,
porque nadie ora como Jesús.
because no one prays like Jesus.
Otros creen que lo reconocieron
Others believe that they recognized Him
cuando partió el pan,
when He broke the bread.
cuando tomó el pan,
When He took the bread,
lo partió,
He broke it.
y cuando Él extiende sus manos y se los dio,
And when he stretches out his hands to give it to them,
allí le miraron las cicatrices en sus
there
manos,
they saw his scars.
allí lo reconocieron,
There they recognized
porque
him.
se necesitaba un Salvador herido
Because we needed a wounded Savior
para sanar a personas heridas.
to heal wounded people.
Más tarde Él se aparecería a sus discípulos
Later on, he would appear to his
y les
disciples
mostraría sus cicatrices.
and he would show them his scars.
Les diría, tóquenlas,
He would say to them, touch them.
son reales,
They're real.
porque sé que tu dolor es real,
Because I know that your pain is real.
sé que tu decepción es real,
I know that your disappointment
sé
is
que te
real.
duele,
I know that it hurts.
sé que te sientes estancado,
I know you feel stuck.
sé que te has sentido solo,
I know you've felt alone.
pero miren mis manos,
But look at my hands.
esto es real.
This is real.
Yo siempre he estado contigo,
I have always been with you.
siempre he estado presente,
I have always been present.
nunca has estado solo.
You've never been alone.
En cada paso que has dado en la vida,
In every step that you've taken in life,
yo te he acompañado.
I have been with you.
Me pregunto si tú puedes ver
I ask myself whether you can
que
see
Cristo resucitó
that Christ rose from the
solo para
dead
venir por ti.
just to come for you.
¿Qué clase de Dios es este
What kind of God is
que
this
viene a nosotros
that comes to us
después de resucitado
after he rose from
para
the
solo
dead
caminar con nosotros
just to walk with us
en su primer día de regreso
on his first day back
cuando resucitó de entre los muertos?
when he rose from the dead
Un día como hoy.
on a day like today?
Quiero que veas la historia de un joven de nuestra iglesia
I want you to watch the story of a young man in our church
que se dio cuenta que Jesús vino por él.
who realized that Jesus came for him.
Veamos el video.
Let's watch this video.
So my name is Jose Gonzalez, and I go to Vision Church. Growing up for me wasn't easy at all. Absent father, being raised by a single parent, a single mother, was what created the lack of love, guidance, discipline, which is what led me to turn to the wrong things, such as drugs, girls, the streets. And that's the same exact ways I wanted to live my life. Just feeling that void my whole entire life, that missing piece, always wanting that loving and just united family. Always kept telling myself I'm not worthy enough, I'm not good enough to be able to be a part of such thing. Just always feeling rejected by family, friends around me. Made me feel worse, about myself. Made me look down on myself day in and day out, which led for me to just try to commit suicide plenty of times. I remember getting invited to Vision by a friend and was throwing so many excuses and why I can't make it to church, until one day I just gave up and just said, you know what, let me give it a try. And I was very skeptical, I was very scared at first, just being surrounded by new people was very difficult for me at first. But I remember when I first walked in and just got greeted with such a huge smile, just genuine love from somebody, made me feel so welcomed. So I remember this one service, I just heard like a very low tone, smooth voice speaking to me, just telling me, Jose, you're not alone. Stop trying to live life. Stop trying to just hold on to all these burdens on top of you when you're not supposed to be doing that. Just give it all to me. I'm here for you. I'm here with you every step of the way. And after that moment, I felt an adrenaline and just an urge to raise my hand and just start worshiping, start just speaking to God. And just after that moment, I just felt like a strong wind just passed right by me and just through me, and which felt very weird and different. I was finally able just to let it go and just surrender my life to Jesus. And after that, I remember after that day, that's when I just decided to go public with my faith and get baptized, join my first small group just to be alongside other men. I remember when he told me, in order to grow in life, you have to live life uncomfortable, which was very awkward for me at first, really didn't understand it, but that's what stuck to me the most. It's just the fact of, he's right. If you want to grow your life with God, if you want to grow your life in general out in the world, you do have to do certain things that you've never done in your life before. In this case, it's just being able to be more like Jesus Christ, which is very uncomfortable. It's not an easy task. So after that, I just decided to start serving at Vision. Serving for me made me just want to give more, just want to be more, and just be there for people. Because I realized there's a lot of broken people out here, but if God can do it with me, then God can do it with anybody. Now, not just living life with Jesus, God finally gave me the family that I've always wanted. So now just living life as a man of God just helps me in just difficult situations with my kids, with my wife, just knowing that I can turn to my Father to be able to be that father that I never thought that I was capable of being. You don't really live for yourself, you live for others. It's crazy just thinking about years ago and how I was just trying to fill those missing voids, like that missing void. Now it's just crazy because now I can rely on my Father, my spiritual Father, and just run to Him. If I want to cry, I run to Him. If I want to just speak about anything, about my day at work, just speaking to God, it's just great just knowing that I'm not alone. My name is Jose Gonzalez, and this is my vision story.
Sí, de eso se trata la Pascua.
And this is what Easter is about.
No solamente es una celebración,
It's not just a celebration.
es darse cuenta
It's realizing
que Jesús siempre ha estado allí por ti.
that Jesus has always been there for you.
Sí, el viernes fue muy duro, muy oscuro,
Yes, Friday was hard and it was dark,
pero llegó el domingo.
but Sunday came.
El viaje fue largo de 7 millas,
The journey was long, a 7-mile journey,
pero sus ojos fueron abiertos.
but their eyes were opened.
Tal vez estás aquí hoy
Maybe you're here today
y puedas decirle a Jesús como estas dos personas le dijeron.
and you can say to Jesus the same thing as these two people said to him.
Tal vez pueda estar herido,
I may be hurt,
tal vez pueda estar decepcionado,
I may be disappointed,
pero insisto, Señor,
but Lord, I insist
que entres a mi casa.
for you to come into my
Y
house.
sus ojos fueron abiertos.
And their eyes were opened.
Tal vez puedo tener dolor,
I may have pain,
pero porque Jesús resucitó de entre los muertos,
but because Jesus rose from the dead,
por fin puedo tener esperanza.
I can finally have hope.
Cierra tus ojos, por favor.
Close your eyes, please.
Si ya marcaste, cierra tus ojos
If you've already checked the box off, then close
y
your
repite
eyes
esta oración conmigo.
and repeat this prayer with me.
Dile, Señor Jesús,
And say, Lord Jesus,
hoy te doy mi vida.
I give you my life today.
No siempre pude verte,
I wasn't always able to see you,
pero siempre has sido tú.
but it has always been you.
Te entrego mi pasado, mi pecado.
I give you my past, I give you my sin,
Recibo tu amor, tu perdón.
I receive your love, your forgiveness,
Y recibo tu propósito.
and I receive your purpose.
Hoy decido seguirte.
Today I decide to follow
Así
you.
con tus ojos cerrados,
With your eyes closed,
permíteme orar por todos.
allow me to pray for everyone.
Te damos muchas gracias, Jesús,
We thank you so much, Jesus,
porque siempre has sido tú.
because it has always been you.
En cada paso que hemos dado en el camino en esta vida.
In every step that we've taken in this life,
Oro por aquellos que se sienten que están en un desvío.
I pray for those that feel like they're in a detour.
Oro por aquellos que se sienten que están en medio de una decepción.
I pray for those that feel that they're in the middle of disappointment.
Recuérdanos, Señor,
Remind us, Lord,
que no has terminado con nuestra historia.
that you haven't finished with our
Tú
story.
eres nuestra esperanza,
You are our hope.
tú eres nuestra fuerza,
You are our strength.
tú eres nuestra fuente.
You are our source.
Porque resucitaste,
Because you
tú
resurrected,
tienes el poder
you have the power
para caminar con nosotros.
to walk with us.
Te lo pedimos en el nombre de Jesús.
We ask you in the name.
Thank you so much for watching the message.
Muchas gracias por ver el mensaje.
Subscribe to this channel so you won't miss a video and share it with a friend.
Suscríbete a este canal para que no te pierdas un video y compártelo con un amigo.
Also, we want to encourage you to partner with us through your giving.
También queremos animarte a que te unas con nosotros a través de tu dar.
We can take this message further and faster and make a difference in the lives of so many people.
Podemos llevar este mensaje más lejos y más rápido y hacer la diferencia en la vida de muchas personas.
You can give using the link below or by visiting our website at myvisionchurch.org.
Puedes dar usando el link abajo o visitándonos en nuestro sitio de web at myvisionchurch.org.
We love you so much and we're looking forward to seeing you back here next time.
Los amamos mucho y esperamos verlos nuevamente la próxima vez.